Hi readers, I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. It is time for the last chapter of Dory Fantasmagory. Don't worry, we'll have another book starting tomorrow. Now, it's been a long weekend, 2 days, but let's remember what we read on Friday. So our chapter was called Time Out. Now, if you remember, Dory, or Rascal, whatever you want to call her, she was pretending to be like a dog at the doctor's office, and her mom was so mad, so she sent her into a timeout. Now, while Dory was in timeout, she was hearing Mrs. Gobblegrucker eat popcorn with her family. Probably wasn't actually happening, as we know, because Mrs. Gobblegrucker is a made-up character. So, she asked Mr. Nuggy to come and make a poisonous soup to make it so Mrs. Gobblegrucker couldn't be in her life anymore. Now, did it work? It did not. If we go to this page, it shows Mrs. Gobblegrucker saying, "Yum," to the soup. And then she carried Dory off. But remember, she didn't actually take Dory because she gave her her sister's doll to take with her instead. And Mrs. Gobblegrucker thought that was a pretty good compromise. So, we have our next chapter, and our last chapter of this book, chapter 6, called Bouncy Ball. Now, I asked you to think about what was going to happen in this book with the bouncy ball. So, try and remember what you said. I know it's been a couple days. And we're going to start reading. So, chapter 6, Bouncy Ball. It takes a really long time to clean up the fort because I keep forgetting that I'm cleaning up. "Rascal, bedtime," calls my mom. "Brush your teeth." As I brush my teeth, I say goodnight to Mr. Nuggy. He has changed back into his regular clothes and is rushing home to his wife. That's when Violet bursts into my bedroom crying. "I can't find Cherry anywhere," she says, "and I've looked everywhere. She's gone." Where is Cherry? She's with Mrs. Gobblegrucker. "Good night." Gulp. Uh-oh. Where is that doll? "I'll be right back," I say. I tiptoe downstairs into the living room. Oh, where did I put Cherry? I gave her to Mrs. Gobblegrucker, of course, but what did I really actually do with her? Think, I tell myself. I check all the usual places: the fridge, the toilet, the dishwasher, the garbage, under the couch, in the couch, under the rug, upstairs, in every drawer under the beds, in the tub. After looking everywhere, I found 2 quarters, a silver button, a Hello Kitty eraser, a bunch of Legos, a moldy cookie, Cherry's shoe, Violet's rainbow bouncy ball. But no Cherry. I put the bouncy ball in my pocket. I'm so tired, I give up. Cherry is definitely not in this house. Well, if she's not in this house, where is she? Did someone take her? But who would take her besides Mrs. Oh no. If Cherry is really gone forever, does that mean Mrs. Gobblegrucker is real? My dad hears my scream and comes running. "Why are you screaming like a maniac? You're going to wake up the neighborhood. Cut this out right now and go to bed." "Ah!" He drags me by my arm. "We're done with you for the day, Rascal. Everybody is done. You got it?" "Ah! Stop screaming!" screams my dad. "She was real," I scream. "Okay, calm down. She was real, whatever you say," says my dad, dragging me down the hallway to my room. "Just go to bed." "Even my dad said he's real. Help!" "I have to be brave," I say, clinging to him. "No, you have to go to bed," he says, dropping me on my bed. "Stay in bed," he says, pointing his finger at me. Then he tucks me in tight because it's not safe for you to come out. he says as he shuts the door, and I think I hear him laugh a little tiny bit. I fake sleep for a few minutes, and then when I'm sure my dad is back downstairs, I sneak out of my room. I'm going to tell Violet the truth, that Cherry is gone forever, and it's all my fault. And even though I know she'll want to kill me, she doesn't have to even bother, because Mrs. Gobblecracker is probably coming back for me. I have no idea. I have an idea. After I tell her the bad news, I give Violet her old bouncy ball. That might make her feel a little bit better. Violet, I say quickly, clutching the bouncy ball tightly behind my back. What? She says. There's something I have to tell you. But then I don't believe what I see. My mouth drops open. Is that Cherry? Lying right there next to Violet? How did she get there? I ask. Oh, Luke found her when he snuck outside to catch fireflies, says Violet. I must have left her on the front stoop, but I don't know when. Oh, I say quietly, but inside my head, thoughts are loud. Oh, the stoop. Of course, I threw her out the front door when Mrs. Gobblecracker was leaving. A stoop is like a front porch. What did you want to tell me? Violet asks. Oh yeah, that. Well, I say, climbing into her bed and tucking myself in her cozy warm covers. Well, Mrs. Gobblecracker isn't real, after all, I say. I know, I'm the one who made her up. You did? Oh yeah, I said. Thanks, Violet. That was a fun game, but it got a little scary at the end. I'm so happy that I got to stay home in this cozy little house with my family after all. Good night, I say to Violet. Good night, she says, giving me a little shove. Now get into your own bed. Before I get out of her bed, I hide the rainbow bouncy ball under Violet's pillow as a secret little gift. The next morning is Saturday, and our parents are still sleeping. Luke and Violet are playing with the bouncy ball that Violet found under her pillow. They are laughing as the ball hits the ceiling and flies off the wall, hitting them on their heads. Let's bounce it down the stairs, says Luke. On the stairs, they are laughing even harder. Boy, do I wish I could play. Suddenly, it's quiet. I run upstairs to go look. The bouncy ball bounced into the toilet. Luke and Violet stand over the toilet, staring down at the sunken ball. What should we do? Shrieks Violet. Are we in trouble? Asks Luke. We'll have to get it out, says Violet. How do we do that? Asks Luke. And they both turn around to find me behind them, watching and smiling. Rascal will get it. Right, Rascal? Says Violet, nodding her head yes. Right away, I pull up my nightgown sleeves and I stick my arm deep in the bottom of the toilet. Luke and Violet cringe and cover their eyes and make gagging noises. Here it is, I say, holding up the bouncy ball. In my arm dripping toilet water, Violet squeezes practically the whole bottle of foamy soap on my arm and helps me wash my hand and the ball. Thanks, Rascal, says Violet. You saved the bouncy ball. I am so happy I'm beaming. We all agree that we don't need to tell Mom and Dad. All day, all I can think about is the bouncy ball. Every time I think about it, I feel so proud. Remember when I saved the bouncy ball? I ask Violet. She says. After dinner, Luke says, Rascal, close your eyes and open your hand. My whole life, I've always wanted someone to say this to me. Before I even open my eyes, I know exactly what it is. It's the rainbow bouncy ball. You can borrow it, Rascal, Violet says. It's not to keep. Really, I say. Really? Since you saved it, she says. I hug Luke and Violet. Let's play, says Luke. Yeah, says Violet. Bounce it. I try to think of the best bouncy ball game I can think of. I hold the bouncy ball very tight, close my eyes, and concentrate. All these pictures came rushing into my brain at once. a lot of pictures. Okay, I got it. The ball is really a poison gumball, and if it hits the ceiling, it explodes, and hot lava pours out of it, and we all melt. And when we melt, we turn back into cavemen, and Mrs. Gobblecracker lives in the cave next door, and she... No, not Mrs. Gobblecracker again, says Violet. Okay, I say. But everything else? They agree. Okay, everything else, they say. My brother and my sister and I play bouncy ball. I run like a maniac to catch the ball, running into walls and screaming as it bonks me in the head. When the ball hits the ceiling, we explode. I'm jumping up and down and making loud crashing sounds, the kind of sound the earth makes when it blows up. I leap onto Luke to protect myself from the hot lava. Hot lava is spilling all over the floor. It's bubbling everywhere. We jump on the couch and move the pillows around so that we have a secret cave. Now, we are cave people. Violet is the cave mommy, of course, and Luke is the caveman daddy. The caveman daddy hunter. And guess who gets to be the cave baby? Me! And I'm the cutest cave baby. Goo me ga goo boo goo. The end. Now that is the end of the first book. So we've read a whole book together. Isn't that kind of fun? So what they give us is a sneak peek to the next book. They give you a whole chapter. But here's the best news. I already have it. But I'm not going to give you a sneak peek of the first chapter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the cover. And it's called Dory Fantasmagory, The Real True Friends. Okay, and just like the first book, if we open up to one of the first pages, it gives us a definition. This right here. It says, a real true friend, an actual kid everyone can see, but who wants to play with you anyway. Now, do you see that Mary is right here? Our little imaginary monster. She says, wait a minute, what about me? Where did this come from? This is not the definition. Okay, that's our next book. The first chapter is called Such a Weirdo. So before we read, I want you to think about who is this little girl in this picture? Because this is Dory, or Rascal. Who is this? And we already know that the real true friend is a real life person. Someone like one of your best friends. So I want you to think about what's going to happen in this book. So much could happen. But remember, Dory still has her imaginary life. And maybe now a real person friend. So we will start reading our second book tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.